Welcome to the Gardners. Before you align yourself within your wealth, let me warn you of a few things. For centuries, puzzling conversations have been spread on the name Jesus. Who is Jesus? Who is Jesus Christ? Throughout our conversation, I need you to understand that structure provides results, and that this land was created before you and I, but it wasn't thought of us and thought of you. I fear that God may have planned to reveal himself to the world long before Eve ever ate of the fruit. Let's look at the word subsequent together. When we look at the word subsequent, it tells us that the direct meaning, which means following in time, order, or place. So this is implying that something not only follows, but in the same way grows out or is closely connected with what precedes it. Mind you, precedes means to come before in time. Let me help you kind of understand where I'm going with this. Before I genuinely and truly met Christ, I can say, or met the guardian that gives us evidence that Christ was once upon us, or once was in the physical realm. It was when I was wanting to just get rich, but it was of minimum wealth, minor wealth. It wasn't of the maximum wealth God has blessed me with, but it was of minor wealth. And it was like, I think I was approaching months like a 10K month, or it was minor wealth, but I lost everything. And when I lost everything, before that time prior, I was really into God. Like, I was really studying God. I was trying to get a closer relationship with him because my heart was broken. And then, so of course I didn't see of him. I didn't, it's almost as if we're praying to a ghost. At least that's what I thought. So he started as he was taking me through the journey, when we were closely in one, or I was just making sure that I was mindfully reading the Bible as I was traveling around my city. He brought me back to my city once I became once I had suffered in lack for just a moment. I had to come back to my hometown. So as I was going through the highways and certain freeways, he was showing me different foundations and showing me that land is everywhere. And that's all that he kept reminding me of, is that land is everywhere. Land is everywhere. And he was showing me like different places to where I can start investing back into the land. Or once I started to realize what I was a part of and who I needed to become, or the direction of my wealth, everything was stripped from me. And that happens when God has you aligned for something greater and more. I want to show you this. This here is the direct connection to this. That comes in one. Like, they are best friends, but for some reason we see them separate when it's all of the same thing. I need you to understand that this money and this here is bloody oath. This is a bloody tail. This is bloody money. I'm telling you, blood is on the money. Blood is money. It's of present nature. When I say everything is God, everything is God's. Think about this. What did he die on? What did we kill him on? A tree. Most resources are made out of what? A tree. It came with restraints. I didn't know that wealth came with restraints, and wealth came with certain approvals. Like, you have to ask permission to obtain wealth, and it could become a dangerous game. So I have to tell you this, because if you don't get wealth with God, your life and your journey is going to be dangerous, and you're going to leave with nothing anyway. I suggest you to get money with God, but you first have to seek the higher mind rather than seeking external. I believe that we look upon materialistics, and we say, dang, I want to get rich to have a Rolls Royce, or dang, I want to get rich to have this and that of external things, when there's something so much greater that we have to recover. When you look at Christ coming, and everybody asks, why do you believe in God? Let me start there, because when you look at Christ coming, you have to look at believing in God. Why believe in God? As I mentioned before, that this was created before us. We have questions, and he knows we have questions. So start at the cross. I met Jesus. Jesus took me to the cross. Who I met after, I call him Christ. It's almost as if the two separated, but it's all as one. As he said, me and the Father are one. I'm afraid that God has already touched the planet and blessed the planet. But as he stated, the way is narrow and few will seek. I didn't know that approaching the land for wealth, I would have to fight for my life to obtain it. Most people wouldn't dare pursue wealth if they knew all that it comes with. But you have a closer look. Join me on this series as I open your mind to topics to start exploring with Christ, as you and him build in that one relationship and you become of one, as it's set and designed for it to be so. In order for the Holy Spirit to proceed out of you and you become of that as it's subsequent to be, you have to know that you are already of it, but you have to become it. So be, do, have. God can't rescue, God can't physically come down here and do it for you, but spiritually he's giving you the body physically to do so. It's up to us to recover the kingdom. I'm afraid that if you don't bring God his kingdom, there's questions on if you're welcome into his. We come here to restore the kingdom, and we seek the lost sheep as he has done so. It's so super ironic that Christ, when he came down, he could have gave us everything of our desires, but instead he showed us what we can do. He showed us how to fish. He showed us how to get what we need. He showed us. He taught us, and he showed us. He was the illustration, and he was the verbiage of what we should do. Mind you, you are, as you're listening throughout this series here, remember, you are Jesus. You are the new Christ. You are that next gen. This is the next gen where you have to graduate. We're graduating from church. Now it's time to graduate from church. And so when you start to do so and you start to look within, you realize, as is mentioned in our word, Luke 1:37, for no word from God will ever fail. No word from God will ever fail. When you realize the bloody truth in this all, and you start to question the cross, what happened after the cross will meet you, you'll realize that it is a shadow that is walking amongst us. Let us all do as he says and bring the kingdom back to its rightful owner. We are under his leadership, but of him, as he mentioned, ye are gods. You are like gods. Ye shall create like gods. Welcome. Just welcome y'all. Thank you.